Hey, what is up, all you lonely watchers? It's Lonely for Buki here. We're finally back to up here for a bit because I had some ideas that didn't need the laptop. I like it up here much better. Actually, now that I feel how hot it is up here, I miss the office. That is besides the point, but today, as you may know, if I'm not lazy and don't get this do get this up on time, is the 9th anniversary of Yokai Watch. So, nothing has been planned, not that we know of. There's supposed to be a level 5 sale afterward, but that's about it. Though, to be fair, there's always a level 5 sale going on, so do with that what you will. I figured I'd go through my stories with Yokai Watch and, you know, how I got into the series from a long time fan, asterisk. And I also asked for some stories from you, so maybe we can find some fun things in with this. I asked my Discord and my YouTube community, so we're gonna go through those. I did get a lot. I remember blowing up with notifications somehow for this, so I don't have it. So I do have a lot, but anyway, let's get into mine first. So in the summer of 2016. I think I would stay over with my grandma's every weekday while my parents were at work. And keep in mind, we didn't have cable at the time, so that's how I would watch it. You know, for a short period we didn't have cable, so when I would watch stuff, I would have to watch it over at my grandma's house when I was there 5 days a week. So one day I was scrolling through the channel, going on the Disney XD to see what's on there, and there's this little show called Yokai Watch playing. I remember it was the Hee Hee Heel episode, where like Bear's getting discharged at the hospital and Eddie's just laughing, and I remember the gag where he tried to summon the metals, but there was peanuts and calamari stuck in the watch. I remember that gag vividly. Anyway, I was into it, so there was an episode playing after that. I watched it again. Watched another one. Watched another one. And soon enough, I was watching these every day as soon as they aired when I was over there. And I was ecstatic. I was getting them recorded. I was rewatching over and over and over again. And I just fell in love. I love this show. So I did more research and found out that it has games. It has games too. By this point, I think the first game came out and the second game was ready to come out. Not too long from then. But I also knew that they had toys, and I was really into toys and collecting stuff like coins and bottle caps and rocks and a ton of other stuff. So when I knew this series that I liked, or that I really liked, had collectible coin things, I dropped on it right away. I had my mom take me to Target and get me the original watch, the medallion, and as many metal packs as there were left there, which I think there were only like 5. I get home, I love them, I keep opening them. I remember on the last pack I had, I got Shogunyan. I don't have them anymore. I gave them away to somebody else a while back who wanted one. I wish I would have kept it, but it's in better hands now. Someone who will get a lot more enjoyment out of it than me. But yeah, I had Shogunyan at one point. I remember getting that in the very beginning, and I loved it. Anyway, I eventually found the Mario Muffet Adventures plush series of Yokai Watch videos, and I loved watching those so much that on my early YouTube channel, I tried to recreate my own because at that point I was making plush videos. I still have them up. I'm not going to link them because I'm too embarrassed to, but I still have them up, and the thumbnails were vertical because I didn't know how thumbnails work, and I use this awful app on my phone I didn't know how to cut around. It was amazing. I also made videos of like showing the summonings on this app I had on my cracked iPad. I made gameplay videos of Puni Puni at one point. I would upload like summonings to my YouTube channel, including the Spanish Cynic one from this one Spanish YouTuber's Yokai Watch video. It was an incredible time, up until I knew a kid in school that had the game. I had a 3DS, but I couldn't bring myself to try to get my parents to buy me another 3DS game. So I borrowed the game and I played a ton of it. I went through, played it over and over and over again, tried to fight Snartle a lot, failed. It was just an amazing time. I enjoyed every second I had of that game until I had to give it back for the last time. I wanted to get 2, but I never could. And by the time 3 came out, I was already out the door in terms of being a fan. And then I was rediscovering it. I rediscovered my love for gaming in 2019, in November 2019, when I found my Wii U and I unboxed it. So this sent me down a spiral of playing all the old games that I played, mostly Mario stuff and Smash Brothers. And then I started to collect more throughout that year. Just tons and tons of games from all different kinds of series I would have never even thought of trying especially after I got my Nintendo Switch that Christmas. Eventually, I realized Yokai Watch was a series that I completely forgot about. So for that Christmas, I was researching. I found out Yokai Watch 4 was on Nintendo Switch. I didn't have my 3DS at this point because it had broken way years prior. That's how I ended up leaving the series, because I kind of forgot about it by then. I forgot about that detail. But I loved it. And I saw that there was a 4th game, so I decided to play it by asking for Christmas, and surprisingly, I got it. It was like $85 at the time. I don't know how much it is now, but it's still a lot because I got it physically. And it was amazing. I didn't start watching Shadowside until halfway through, which was probably a bad choice, but after then, everything clicked. I absolutely loved it. So eventually, later in May, I ended up getting Yokai Watch 1 for Nintendo Switch. And then I was originally going to get Gakuen, but fast forward a little bit, and in January I want to get a 3DS again, so I ended up buying one along with the original trilogy, 2 Fleshy Souls a few months later, and then in May I got Yokai Watch 3 finally. I still don't have Busters yet, but I'm trying to get one, and when I got that game, the 3DS, it was amazing. It was reliving my childhood. I absolutely loved it. I played it over and over and over again. And luckily, I had bought a 3DS just before the prices spiked up, because that was only 1 week before they announced the eShop closure. So yeah, that's pretty amazing timing, if you ask me. When I played 3, it was like the culmination of what everything was leading up to. Oh, this new journey of rediscovering Yokai Watch. And it was just an incredible thing to experience, to finally get to play 3, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. It makes a shame of Yokai Watch 2, one of the worst sequels to a game I've ever played. And everything just clicked. And of course, throughout 2020, you've seen me in my journey. I've been collecting a bunch of Yokai Watch toys and manga and movies and a bunch of other things. I've been watching through the animes, most of the episodes that are available in English. Except for the tail end of Season 4 of the original series. I never really finished that. And yeah, that's pretty much my journey from point A to B with Yokai Watch from the beginning. And it's a really special series to me that always held a deep place in my heart. And even if I end up quitting YouTube, or if I stop playing video games one day, or anything, I will still remember Yokai Watch as that amazing series that started a whole new chapter of my life. And I will definitely have my Yokai Watch Ogre on display even when I am out of this. Anyway, let's see what experiences you guys had with Yokai Watch. Where's my phone? First, we are going to look at the Discord. And I know there's a lot, and I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to go through as many as I can, as fast as I can. Give little comments on them. And anyway, let's do this. Nuts says, in 2015 I got into Yokai Watch from recommendations on YouTube, and honestly I'm so glad this happened. I looked at Adele's Yokai Watch Let's Plays and was hooked, and I don't know what it was about it, but I loved it so much as a child and the anime, and it's still my favorite series of all time. Johnny Awesome helped me with the video, and I love his videos this day. Yeah, that's another thing. Johnny Awesome and Abdallah, I know people watch a lot. I didn't really watch any of him. I did watch Zare and Zephyr, but I didn't really watch much. I do remember Johnny Awesome. I remember watching his unboxings, but not a lot, and I never watched Abdallah's playthroughs. I do remember watching pony YouTubers, but I don't remember which ones exactly. They weren't really too memorable to me. The Mario fan says, came out in 2016 in Europe, so this is when this all happened. My friend was really into the anime, and my other friend had gotten the game for a good report. I'm so stupid. That's probably like a good report card. I don't know why that didn't click with me immediately. Anyway, I was in the store deciding on something to buy, and I decided to see what all the fuss was about, so I bought a pack of Series 1 medals, came with Banyan, Steppa, and Rith. Shortly after, we went back to get the watch, and eventually got the game. I watched Season 1 while it was up on YouTube. Season 1 was up on YouTube? I don't remember that. Or maybe, like, paid, but I'm assuming this person means for free. I never remember that. But yeah, the toys, I know, are, like, a big stepping stone for a lot of people. But you know, I generally see a lot of people getting into with the anime or the game, specifically the second game, even though it's one of the worst ones. Rush says, around 2016, I was just watching Cartoon Network when I was like 9 or 10, but it showed a promo of Yokai Watch and I got really interested. But around 2017, I lost my interest in Yokai Watch, and it's like I didn't exist. But from 2019 to this day, I've gained my interest back and became a huge fan of the game and merch and even the anime. And the YouTubers, mainly Johnny Awesome, got me back into playing Puni, and yeah, that's my story. Kind of a similar thing, I gave a lot more detail, but yeah, I traded off for a while, mainly because, not because I lost interest, but because my 3DS broke, we didn't have cable. I stopped going to my grandma's house. I didn't really have a way to experience it. Food Dude says, I got a 2DS randomly when I was younger, and it had a download code for Yokai Watch included. At that point, I already knew about the game. I just thought it was a Pokemon ripoff and didn't think much of it. But since it came with my 2DS, I thought, why not, and decided to play it. Little did I know that I would actually ended up enjoying it more than Pokemon. That's a story I see a lot too. People like transitioning from Pokemon, really liking Pokemon, and then playing Yokai Watch and loving it more. And that's always a nice thing to see. Not like the anti-Pokemon thing, like, yeah, take that, Pokemon. We can hand you. More of like a cool, somebody can find more enjoyment out of this thing, and they even though it's viewed as inferior, someone can find a lot of enjoyment out of this thing that's very beloved to us. Hat Crusade, which you should sub to, he does really good streams, says, I've always played all sorts of monster catching RPGs, and I knew about the game a little bit before it came to America because there was a time when news sites were saying that Japan had a new Pokemon killer. Naturally, it eventually came stateside, and while I didn't pick it up at launch, I did try the demo. As you know, I didn't end up big over here, and eventually became cheap to get a copy. I watched the first few seasons and movie on Amazon, and also tried Wibble Wobble back when that game existed. It was all alright, but nothing really big, so I can see the appeal, but I prefer other series more. I got Yokai Watch 4++ because my stream chat, mainly me and Pineapple and Church of Dorime, were talking about it. that always stuck out to me, that you ended up getting that. Anyway, it was 70% off on the eShop, as it almost always is. And we'll probably pick up the rest of the 3DS trilogy one day, but not soon. You probably should soon, because, you know, the shutdown. But I appreciate the sentiment from someone who isn't a really big fan. I mean, at least you can see the appeal and don't write it off like a lot of people I know do. Frost Shogunyan, who you should also subscribe to, but maybe not because he's going to pass me. Maybe I should encourage subscribing to him because I want to stay at the top in my own server. I'm kidding, obviously. Also realizing that some people with way more subs are in my server. But yeah, you should go to subscribe to him. I'll make sure to link him in the description too, as well as Hat Crusade. But anyway, in 2015 I was watching Disney XD, and one day, randomly, the show was on. I watched it. I didn't even know there was a toy. So one day my mom pulled up from the toy on a YouTube video. I was pretty obsessed over the summoning song, so I really wanted it. Then one day my mom brought it home from Target. Target crowd. And also one big pack of medals. I was so excited as soon as I had a bigger collection than I knew what to do with. Yeah, his collection also is something I can attest to. I mean, it may not have a lot of Japanese stuff, but he has like every variation of every Hasbro watch and all the manga and so many dog tags and stuff. It's incredible. It's a sight to behold. But yeah, I had, again, that sounds kind of similar to my story. I knew I wasn't alone in like animated toy to that kind of stuff, and then ended up collecting a lot. Lefty says, Lefty? Yeah, Lefty. Lefty says, back in 2015, I saw the show on Disney XD and didn't know that I'd like it. Then I watched it and absolutely loved it. It automatically became my favorite show, so I'd count down the dates for each episode. When I came on vacation in Florida 2015, I was able to get a toy watch and I pretend to be like Nate. In 2016, they had the games and every time I was at Best Buy, I'd see the preview for the games and I'd be so sad because I didn't have a 3DS. Right when I had given up hope, my brother's friend gave me his old 3DS, which I still have to this day. I completely beat Boney's Spirits and would continue to play it for a while. I had so many medals and 2 Model Zeros and 1 original. I started to get sad again since Season 2 had ended, but sometime in 2017 I got my first Japanese watch, the Model U. I bought some medals for it and loved it so much. I also got the Dream Animal Blade and some Yokai Watch 3 Tempura on my 3DS so I could actually play it. Eventually the cycle happened again and I lost hope. Finally Season 3 came out and it was good until they stopped making episodes. I checked every week for 6 months and got sad. I bought the Elda and Ogre and actually started to learn Japanese in Spain from... I actually started to learn Japanese. In a span from 2020 to 2021, I got in every Reason Yokai Watch. I completely finished the original series in Japanese, tried to finish the Y Academy series, completely finished the Shadow Side series, and can't find where to watch the new movie and the new TV show. Well, the new movie hasn't released on Blu-ray yet, so it's kind of hard to come by, but the episodes are being uploaded to YouTube, so if you want to watch them there, you just need a VPN. But yeah, props to you for learning Japanese for this series. That's something I've thought about and I might do one day, but it's not a huge priority at the moment. And finally on Discord, Flounderpot says, it was Christmas 2015 when I was opening my presents. My stepsister gave me Yokai Watch for the 3DS, and I said, what is this game even about? And she told me you can catch bugs and fish and also find yokai. And I was like, cool, so I played it and really enjoyed it. Then Yokai Watch 2 came out and I got all 3 versions and really enjoyed all of it. Then I lost interest in the franchise until 2021 when I got Yokai Watch 3 and started playing the games again, and then I got Yokai Watch 4 and enjoyed it as well. Now a huge fan. Man, it's weird that there's so many stories of like losing interest and then like in the pandemic era getting back into it, because that's pretty much what it was like for me, and it's weird that a lot of people are like that. I just assume that most people had always been interested. But yeah, it's great to see people regaining interest in this series years later. Anyway, that is all the big ones from my Discord. There were some like few sentence ones, but I'm not going to go over those because those usually aren't as interesting. Now let's go to my YouTube community under my community post and see what other ones we can read off. Grant Barbarino says, I saw a poster for the game at Walmart and I was like one of those cardboard stands. For some reason I immediately dismissed the game because it's just a kid who travels using his watch. I had no idea what the idea came from or why I didn't notice all the weird creatures around him. This was before I even heard of the second game and before the first even came out. I don't exactly remember why, but a combination of me trying to figure out the demo on my 3DS, watching the first episode almost religiously on the 3DS eShop, seeing the medals were pretty cheap everywhere, and reading the first volume of the manga was enough to make me a huge fan. I was there from the very beginning and I got to see the fall of the franchise in real time. I kind of come after the fall because when I left, it was still like going strong. But sorry to see that. At least you got to see it build back up, and I'm seeing it like start to build back up from. We're seeing it together build back up from the shambles it was previously in, which is pretty cool. Sparked Mayhem says, I bought the first game along with my 2DS. I had no knowledge of it at the time, but enjoyed it and thought it looked cool. Played the game, enjoyed a lot of it, and was obsessed. I watched people play it on YouTube and watched a few episodes of the show. I still love Yokai Watch, and now on my original game, Psychic Specters and Blasters. It'll always have a special place in my heart no matter how many times I lost interest in it again and regained it again. I remember getting the demo on my 3DS, absolutely loving it, then buying a 2DS with it already pre-installed, even though I already had a perfectly good 3DS. That's a testament I can assent to. That's a testament I can attest to. Lord. For me, I simply watched Stampy Longhead play it on his channel. Since I didn't have a 3DS at the time, I stuck with that and the anime for a couple of years. By then, my Yokai Watch toy collection was mostly Metas and original Model Zero. I didn't get the Model U, but I always had Usepion and Cornfused medals. After I got out of the series, I didn't too much when it came to it for a few years, until I got back into it again in October of 2020. Strangely around when I did too. Then I bought the first game since I had a DS, played it with the Yokai Watch, played Yokai Watch 2 a month later. After that, 3. A couple months after that, Blasters. And a couple months after that, played 4. Not too long after 4, I got Yokai Watch 1 Switch Remake, and then last Christmas I got the YSP Watch and the Y Academy game. I'm early in the game because I'm struggling to find translation, plus stuck on the dungeon, whatever it's called, someplace where I'm having difficulty with it. I have yet to beat it, and I'm close. Even out of the Yokai Watch Dream, Elda and Kid's version of the original Watch in my collection, and even will have more Yokai medals in some arcs too. Even got my hands on the movie-exclusive Nekomata arc. Even got a copy of the Shadow Side movie. I have too much Yokai Watch stuff when Yokai Watch 5 becomes a thing. That will be more to add to my collection. Well, I hope Yokai Watch 5 becomes a thing, and I hope your collection forever grows just like mine. It's always a fun thing to collect. Video games are fun and all to collect, but yokai stuff, it's just amazing. At first, I was the kind of people who thought that Yokai Watch was just a Pokemon ripoff, but when I got Yokai Watch 4 was going to come out, I told myself it would be cool to discover the Yokai Watch franchise and understand the 4th game. From that day on, I'm still a fan of the series and caught up with the story. Note, I played Yokai Watch 2, 3, and Blasters, Buni Buni Sangokushi, and Metal Wars, and watched all the second of Gaku and Y. Okay, starting off with 4 wasn't the best decision, but I'm glad you went back and played the other games. Play 1 though. 1's a really good one. It's a really, really good one. Way better than 2. I was in the hospital and decided to watch some Disney XD. Yokai Watch was on, and the episode I watched was B3NK1 episode, so I watched it. A couple of months went by, and I was scrolling through Netflix when I see Yokai Watch, and I remembered watching it when I was in the hospital, so I watched the first episode, and I got obsessed with the show after that. I don't know what you were in there for, but I'm glad you came out, especially with a brand new, amazing interest in a series like this. My mom got me the first game because she thought it was Pokemon. I was initially mad, but now I'm glad she got Yokai Watch because I may have never played it otherwise. Honestly, this is the funniest one so far. Oh, she thought it was Pokemon. I'm glad you ended up liking it, but if there's no better way to get into Yokai Watch than that. So I heard people talking about the show on Netflix, and so I thought it was worth trying, and I liked it, and I figured out that it had games, and I love the series ever since. So I recently bought the 1 remake for Switch, and it was good as I remember. Glad to hear. And the last one, I watched a commercial on Nickelodeon about Yokai Watch anime, and it seemed like something fresh. After I watched the first episode, I really liked it, and became my all-favorite anime of all time. A wholesome one to end things off on. Anyway, I was glad to hear how Yin's got into the Yokai Watch series, and I'm very, very glad that it has survived this long, and the fan base, even in English, is still going strong to this day, even through all the hardships we faced. Yokai Watch has brought so many smiles to so many people, and it's such an amazing and unique series in the monster catching genre that did so many good things and so many bad, but we were all through it through thick and thin, and no matter how we got into a fan or how recently, we're all family here. So thank you to Level 5 for making Yokai Watch and continuing to support it, as well as the creator Akinori Hino for originally wanting the idea, and just thank everyone who has poured their heart and soul into making Yokai Watch as memorable and as amazing of a series that it is, and thank you all for supporting it for 9 amazing years. I don't know where I would be right now if it weren't for the Yokai Watch games, and even more so the series as a whole. Anyway, that is it for this video. If you like it, like and subscribe. I will see you all the next time. And I have something important to do. See you around! Filmed another video. Finally get to relax with some games. Oh, what to play today? Rayman. Just beat Origins. Grand Theft Auto. I'm not feeling very violent today. How could I forget? The best game of them all. You know, Yokai Watch, I'm sorry. I know I haven't been giving you the attention you deserve, and you're a great series, and you really helped me out throughout my life. But I've been just getting tired of Yokai Watch recently, and I've been trying other things, other series. Been trying to experiment with my YouTube videos and what games I play. And I know that they will never compare to what you do, and I should never forsake you for what you are. And that doesn't mean I can't try new things, but I should never forget what you did for me. So I thank you for all that you've done, and I will never forsake you again. With that being said, let's have some fun for the first time in a while, shall we? Happy 9 years!